Good morning, good morning, good morning. This is a beautiful, beautiful morning. What are we looking at here? We are looking at plug trays. What is a plug tray? A plug tray is a tray that we fill with soil, we plant our seeds, and then when the seed starts grow, then, we just pull the whole thing out, and we've got this little seed plug that we can plant wherever we want to plant it. So a plug tray is what we use to start our seeds. Wait a second. Shoshana, it's the end of the summer. What are we doing? Why? You're going to see we've got pepper, and we've got corn, and loofah, and green onion, and pole beans, broccoli, carrots, melons, tomatoes, all kinds of things we've got here. And this time, I'm even going to try to my luck on planting roses. Yep, I harvested seeds from rose hips. Now, the seeds were old, but you know what? I'm going to try it. So why am I planting these vegetables that are significantly summery? Well, the broccoli is good for the winter, and the onions can be good for the winter. And oh, wait, I also planted in my planters along the way there. I planted lettuces as well. So what am I doing? It's the end of the season. It's going to get cold soon. The reason is because where I live, we actually have 3 growing seasons. Sometimes people come in the summertime expecting to see this wildly green, luscious vegetable garden in the summertime. And because they know I grow my vegetables and I eat my own fruit from the trees, and they're expecting green all the time. But instead, they find gray, dried up, not at all what they were expecting. What a lot of people don't understand is that in dryland areas, we don't have your typical traditional 2-season, winter, summer. We actually have, where I live, we actually have 3 growing seasons. We have winter, spring, and like spring, summer, and then fall. The summertime, we cannot grow vegetables. You can if you want to spend a lot of water, and you want to use shade cloths, and you have to keep your finger on everything. Sorry, there's a tractor rolling over there. So instead, what we have is the winter season, which is cold. Yes, it's cold, but there's still 6 hours of sunlight, and the cold is not the same as in the northernmost parts of the northern hemisphere. So we can still grow things in the wintertime. We can grow lettuces and broccolis and radishes and most leafy greens. And then we have spring, summer, in which we grow all the spring crops, and we grow all the summer crops that are traditionally grown in the northern hemisphere, in the northern parts. But in the summertime, it's not working. It's just too dry. We can't do that. However, at the end of summer, as the days begin to shorten, as the temperatures begin to cool down in the evening, we can then plant another season. And those plants will generally ripen before it starts to get really, really cold. So if I start my seeds now, then I'll have September, October, November. I've got 3 full months before it starts to get really cold here. And when it gets really, really cold, where summer things will not grow, is actually at the end of December. That's when winter really kicks in here. So we have 3 to 3.5 months. That's 90 to 100 days that we can grow things. So that's what I'm doing now. I am planting my fall garden. And then sometime at the end of October, I will begin to plant my winter garden. And then sometime in February, I begin to plant my spring summer garden. And that's how it works here. We've got 3 seasons. And in many ways, it's actually better than the typical 1 season gardening, because we have every 3 months we've got a new supply, a fresh supply of vegetables. Anyway, that's what I did this morning. I'm going to water these, and then I will show you what I do with these. Since it is still hot out in the day, we don't want these to dry out, so I will show you what I do with them. I watered these thoroughly with a watering can, and I made sure that it had the gentle sprinkle on it. And the reason you want the gentle sprinkle is because you don't want to disturb the seed. You don't want to accidentally knock it out of its place once you've so gently placed the seeds in and made sure that they were centered and everything. So you want to make sure that this is quite moist. Make sure it's moist. And then, so I've got this out on the table. Now, one thing you don't have to worry about when you plant in the winter or when you plant in the early spring or whatever, you don't have to worry about the soil drying out. If this soil dries out, even just a little bit, that's it. The seed will not germinate. The seed needs constant moisture. Now, one thing that the seed does not need until it has actually germinated and the little sprout has hit above the ground is sunlight. Doesn't require the sunlight until we see the little greenies coming up out of the soil. So what I do is I cover these. I will just cover these. You see? Just like that. These are covered. This is if I have these out in the sun and I don't have shade. I could also put each one of these plug trays into a tray that will catch the water, but I don't have one. So this is what I do. The important thing is to just make sure that the moisture does not evaporate from the plug trays, from the soil. It really, really is important. So this is what I have. Yes, this will get hot in the sun. That is true. However, this is the only place that I have at the moment where I can do my starts, where I can plant my starts. So this is what I have to work with. And this is fine. In fact, this will keep the soil moist and warm, and the seeds might actually germinate a little bit faster. Also, another advantage of this is that at nighttime, the heat will be maintained, so the soil doesn't cool down at nighttime as much. So, until next time.